Hi and welcome to today's class. Before we get started, just some tips for making sure your setup is right. So for today's class, we will be replicating the footwork that is traditionally done on the reformer in a standing position. So I really recommend that you're working in a space where you've got a wall nearby. If not, use a chair because you'll certainly need it for balance. I'm also using a 1 kilogram set of weights. They're entirely optional, but if you are using the weights, you don't need anything heavier than a 1 kilogram. You could even go 0.5. Okay, once you're set up, we are going to make a start. So let's start off with some roll downs. So let's look down to the feet. Make sure that they're parallel, toes pointing forward, and then just relax the shoulders. Lengthen the spine without locking through the back of your knees. Loose through the arms. Weight is in the heels and the toes of the feet. Lightly drawing the belly in, tailbone reaching down towards your heels. Let's take that full breath in. Fill in the lungs, and then as you exhale, the head nods forward and you're just going to follow through with the rest of the spine. Try to keep your weight above your feet. So try not to send the hips back too much with this roll down movement. Once you're over at the bottom, take another breath. Tighten the abdominals by pulling around the waist, and then let's roll it back up. Eyes looking in. And they are the last thing to come up and lengthen from the crown of the head. Take another breath. Exhale, chin to chest, rounding the shoulders, arms nice and loose. Keep the eyes looking in as you round through your spine. Feel a length through the back of the legs. And use your exhale, tighten and then start to pull. Reaching the energy from the crown of the head. And again, filling the lungs with that full breath and curling the chin to the chest, rounding the upper, the middle, the lower spine, a sense of hollowing the abdominals by pulling the belly button towards your spine. Take that breath, engage more through the abdominals. Try not to lock the knees to pull up, but certainly feel the back of the leg working. Once you are all the way up, bringing the eyes forward, finishing with that tall spine. So I'm going to step off of the mat and we're going to keep working for our warm-up in a standing position. So still parallel, let's take the arms overhead, palms facing in, soften your shoulder blades on your back. And we're going to take it over into a side bend. Using your exhale to pull yourself back to center. So visualize or imagine that the lower body is absolutely still and you're just moving from your waist and above, but keeping a feeling of length through your spine with this movement. Up and over. Exhale, pull it in. Up and over. And pull. So really working the muscles through the sides of the torso and along the spine. Let's go one more each way. Inhale. Exhale over and reach. And coming back to center, bring the arms out to a T position, palms are up. You're really reaching through your arms, feet together. Let's go into spine twist. So 2 little pulses and then back to the center and then other side, pulse, pulse and center. So think about your hips staying really square with this. Again, we're looking for the movement to come from the waist and above. So try not to turn the pelvis, just turn from the waist. A little bit trickier to do. Control it. Reach through the fingertips. And exhale, exhale. Inhale to center. Exhale, exhale. Inhale to center. Eyes going with your sternum. So as you rotate, you're looking where your sternum is facing. Try not to take it beyond. Keeping that nice T position of the arms. They're energized. They're working here, guys. We've got one more each way. Exhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale, exhale, inhale. And then let's bring the arms down. You might want to put them on the hips for the next exercise, which is our leg lift. So you're going to keep that standing leg soft at the knee. You're just resting the toes, find your balance, lift up through your abdominals, coming into that leg lift movement. So you're moving from the hip. It doesn't have to be a big lift with the leg. You might even need that chair or the wall, and that is all good. What we're trying to do is really keep it balanced through the working leg or the standing leg. You'll feel all those little micro movements through the ankle, through the foot. You're just levering the leg up and down. 2 more. Last one. And then let's bring that foot down. So take a moment, find your balance. Lift up through your abdominals, long through your lower back. And then once you've got that balance without locking that standing knee, you're going to lift and lower. Lift and lower. Again, working at a height that you can keep your balance with. Inhale as you lower, exhale as you lift. Nearly said it the wrong way around then, but it doesn't matter. Just breathe when you need to breathe, people. And lift. And lower. We've got 3 more on this side. Trying to keep the pelvis square. And 2. And 1. And then bringing that foot back into that parallel position. So now we're going to move into some calf raises. So I want you to think about having weight in the heels and the balls of your feet. Drawing yourself up tall, again, without locking your knees. And you're going to just slightly tip forward, bring the weight more into the balls of the feet and the toes. And then just do a gradual elevation up onto the toes. Find that balance. And then a gradual rolling down through the foot, bring the weight back into the heel. So I'm just going to turn side for one so that you can see that shift of weight. So reaching it into the balls and toes, and then I'm going to gradually rise up. Imagine someone's pulling you from the crown of the head with a string. So let's keep that going. Reach and press up. So you could do these holding onto the wall or the back of a chair, that's all good. Find where you need to be. Keep that movement gradual. If you'd like to add a progression on this, we do a float up with the arms and then floating them down as you bring the weight back into the heels. And reach, get tall, find that balance, and then roll through the foot. And again, inhale, lengthen up, reach, reach, reach. And exhale, roll it down. And we have 3. Press all 10 toes into the floor. Bring the weight back into the heels. And 2. Lightly drawing the belly in. Keep that feeling of being energized and tall through your spine. Last one here. And then let's roll it all the way down through the foot. And then think about prancing on the reformer. We're going to bend one knee, then the other, pressing the heel down into the floor. I nearly said the mat then, but into the floor. Think about your pelvis. Try not to let it hike over to one side when you're doing this movement. Keep it nice and square. Knee coming forward. Work the feet. Pick up the pace. And let's go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, we are ready to move into our footwork. So starting off with our parallel heel position. I'm going to add some arm movements with all of these. Again, all optional, up to you if you bring the arms in. So heels are staying down. As we bend, we're coming into a little squat bend. Now, rather than sending the hips back, In a hip hinge squat, imagine you're laying down on the reformer bed right now. So if I turn sideways, I'm just coming into a little dip through the upper body. And make sure your knees are tracking parallel. So you don't want them to be splaying in or out with that bend. If that's happening, just reduce your range. It can be very, very small here. Use your inhale as you bend, your exhale as you push up. So imagine you're extending out on that reformer, pressing those heels into the foot bar. Same movement, standing position. Let's do one more here on the heels. Reach and press. So now we're rolling up onto the toes. So I'm going to attempt to do this without holding onto the wall. The camera's rolling, I've got to keep going if you can. Be with me. Pressing it up and inhale down. Exhale, push up. Keep the heels lifted. Try not to let them drop. The same as when you're working on the reformer. You've heard me saying it. Keep those heels lifted. Find that full extension but without locking the knees. Find that parallel tracking of the knees over the toes. Lots of focus here without using the wall, believe me. So if you're with me right now, keep that balance. Inhale down, exhale up. Let's do one more. Down and exhale, and then let's roll down through the feet. So small V position. So heels are squeezing together. We're going to lift the heels. We're going to reach out to the T if we are using the arms, and then we're going to bend again. Imagine you're just sliding straight down the wall and then pressing up. Zipping the inner thighs together, keeping the heels lifted if you can, and pressing up. So let's have a bit of movement with the arms. So out to the T, and then we'll bring them down as we get tall. So reach T position. Try not to let the bottom stick out. Keep that alignment, that tall spine, it's gliding down. Or imagine if you were laid down right now on the reformer, we're replicating the same position. Tight abdominals, use your exhale to press up. Keep the heels squeezing. Keep the energy reaching from the crown of the head. We've got this. 4, 4. And exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, push up, 2. Last one, inhale and exhale, and then bring the feet down. Okay, wide V position, starting with heels, the easier one. Okay, so again, I'm going to add arm variations. They are all optional. Check out your knees. Are they tracking over your outturned feet? You don't want them to be rolling inwards. Keeping weight through the heels even. And again, that back is staying long. As you come down, you're just sliding down. And exhale to press out. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, lengthen up and push. Inhale. Feel the front of the leg. Feel the back of the leg. Resist, push into the floor. And reach and push. Let's do one more. Inhale and exhale. Okay, so keeping this wide V position, we're going to roll up onto the toes. And we're going to keep it there if we can. Arms overhead. So coming out to the V position or that squat bend. And exhale, keep it tall. Control, can you keep those heels lifted here? Even if you're using a chair, still focus on the lift of the heels. That alignment of the spine, so you're keeping it tall. We're not sending the hips back, just coming straight down. Push up, working the feet, and reach. Inhale, knees tracking over toes. Feel the calves really working here to keep that lifted heel position. And then to push yourself back up, working against gravity here. 4, 2, we're nearly there. and one, reach and push, and then bring the heels down. Walk the feet back to that parallel position, and again, let's just have a quick prance to stretch the feet out, work it at a tempo that feels good for you. Keep the hips square. Whew. Quite challenging, this reformer footwork in a standing position. I think I need to do it more often. So now we're moving into some single work. So I'm going to definitely use the wall. I don't want to make a video of myself falling over. So I'm going to come to this side to work on my left leg, standing on my left leg. So find where you need to be, guys. Make sure you've got your balance. We're going to start off on our heel. So bringing that opposite or your right leg to tabletop. So we're going to inhale down and exhale up. So it's a little bit easier on the heel than the toes. Same things as in your double footwork. You want to ensure that the knee tracks over the top of your foot, that it's not rolling in or out. Keep it in a range where you can control that. And let's just do one more. Exhale, push up. Okay, so let's go straight into toes on this side so we're not moving around too much. So come up onto the balls of both feet. Don't be too lifted through the heel if you're really unbalanced. Find that tabletop again on that right side. Now inhale, we go down. Exhale, we glide straight back up. Dipping and extending. Try and keep that knee aligned over the toes. Inhale down. So look at my heel. Can you keep it the same? Lift it up. A lot of work here. A lot of balance. I'm so glad that I've got the wall right now. And exhale, push up. We've got one more. A few wobbles going on, that's for sure. So if you're feeling that too, it's all good. A work in progress, I say. So let's come to the other side. So parallel position. Hips square, lightly engage through the abdominals. Let's find our tabletop with that left leg, and then on the inhale, bending through the right, and exhale to come up. You might find you can do these comfortably without holding on, or just making it a very light hold. I've just got my fingertips lightly touching the wall right now, and that feels quite comfortable to do. Again, as you bend, knee going over toes. Two more. Inhale. Exhale. Push through the heel. Last one. And exhale. Coming back down with both feet. Let's find that lift on both. Resting on the ball of the foot. Find that engagement through the abdominals. Find your balance as you come into tabletop. Now keep that heel lifted as we bend. And exhale, driving it back up. Strong calves here. Ankle stability. Press it up. Inhale down. Control it. Keep it going. Use the breath. Use the wall. Use the chair. Use it all. Inhale down. Exhale, push it up. We've got this. Keep that heel lifted as best you can. I'm really trying. This is my side that's not so strong. And push, and we have one more, I believe. Inhale down, exhale, press up, bring that heel down, bring the other foot down, and again, just have a little walk through the feet. Well done, everybody. So now we're coming down onto our mat, because this is a mat class. Okay, so we're going to set up laying down on your back, setting up for some pelvic tilts to begin with. So make sure you're in a comfortable position with that parallel position of the feet. Nice and long through the back of the neck, gaze forward with the eyes rather than this. And then find that comfortable position for your lower back. Ideally even weight across both of your sides of your pelvis. Once we've found that, let's start off with our pelvic tilt. So using your exhale, tighten the waist, bring the pubic bone towards you. Inhale, let's let that go. Broaden the rib cage and then repeat. Exhale, tighten and tuck. Inhale, tilt the pubic bone away from you. And exhale. And inhale. Warming up into that lower back. Bringing our awareness back to the breath and the engagement of our abdominals with the exhale. 2 more. Exhale. Tucking and then release. Try not to grip with the bum, but use it through the abdominals instead. And then find that tuck again. And then this time let's continue peeling the spine away from the mat. Reaching up. A sense of the knees reaching out over the toes. Get your maximum lift here. And then wave it down through the spine. Keep the eyes forward. Try not to lose that length in the neck. If you do, just bring it back. Adjust. And then releasing the tuck at the bottom. Let's repeat. Exhale. Tilting the pelvis. Tight abdominals. Peeling the spine away from your mat. Be active with the arms. You can press in here to get that lovely lift. And exhale. Roll it down. Roll it down. 1 vertebra at a time. Coming back onto the mat. And exhale. Curl it up. Reaching up long. Inhale for a pause. And exhale. Roll it down. And down. And down. Release. Let's do 1 more. Maximum articulation of the spine. Keep that tuck the entire time you're lifted. Glutes and hamstrings working here. And then exhale, roll it down. And down. And then releasing. Back to your neutral, or where you've got some space at your lower back and you feel comfortable there. So let's move on into some abdominal work. So we're going to float the arms up and then just get heavy across the back of the shoulder blades. Let's turn the palms to face forward. Now you can work with the feet down, or if you want to increase the challenge, floating one leg to tabletop, then the other. Moving into the 100 prep. So a little nod of the head, chin to chest as we curl it up on the exhale, and lower back on the inhale. Again, as long as you're breathing. Sometimes it ends up being the other way around and it's all good. Exhale, curl it up. Inhale, lower it back. Exhale, tighten the abdominals. And lower back. We've got 2 more here. Moving into a progression. The coordination, we extend the legs as we curl up, small open and close, knees come in first, arms and then head follow. So if this is too much of a challenge for you, you can keep going with your 100 prep. Reach and extend. Make sure the abdominals are really tightened when you extend those legs. No tipping forward of the pubic bone here, guys. We don't want any arching in your lower back. So really, if you are taking the legs out, don't come too low. And let's go for 1 more. Reach, open and close, nice and small. Tabletop, and then down, 1 foot down, then the other. And then we're going to rock and roll ourselves up so we can grab our hand weights. So bring yourself back down, reset in that parallel position, and again, you've got the choice of keeping the feet down or working in a tabletop, depending on how much of a challenge you want today. I'm going to stay in tabletop. We're going to start with shoulder extension. So your head is staying down now. You're reaching forward with the arms and then straight back into that alignment where your hands are directly above your shoulders. So use the breath. Exhale, tighten more around the waist as the arms come forward. Inhale, controlling it back. 1 more. We're going to go in sets of 5 for all of these arm movements. Now, let's reach out to the T position. Knuckles facing up towards the ceiling. Exhale, let's close to shoulder distance. Inhale, get broad across the chest. Exhale. Don't forget about the tabletop if you're using it. Keep the abdominals switched on to support that. Again, any arching in the lower back, please bring your feet down and work with them on the floor. and exhale. And reach. Last one. Exhale, hold it there. Turn the knuckles to face away. Bring the arms down by the sides. And then once you've got the weights down, let's find our feet on the mat. Coming on up to a seated position. So we're going to do some seated arm work. Imagine you're seated on the reformer. So if this position is hard for you to get a tall spine, you could sit on a little block or a cushion, or you can bend your knees, sit cross-legged if need be. Go with what works best. We're going to start with our hugger tree. So elbows are a little bit soft. I've got a little curve in my elbows. I'm keeping that tall spine. I'm going to reach out to the T and then exhale, squeeze back in. Inhale, get broad across the chest. Exhale, squeeze it in. Keeping the energy reaching from the crown of the head, tall spine. Inhale, exhale, let's close it in. One more. Reach and press. Now bring the weights to the crown of your head for salute, working the back of the arm. So you're going to press away on a diagonal. Try not to lose that tall spine, so keep lifted. Pull the belly in. High on the sitting bones. Let the weights be travelling out on a diagonal. Reach and bend. One more here. Reach and bend. And then let's take arms out by your sides. So you have to be in more of a V position for this than we would be on the reformer, just so your weights don't catch on the floor. And you're just going to press back and forward. So I need to go even wider because my weight's just caught the floor there. With the shoulders, have the collarbones rolled nice and open. So you're keeping it really tall through the spine, open chest as we push back and then slightly forward. Let's do two more. I lost count. I think it's more than 5, but it's all good. And then bringing it forward with the arms. So the last arm work we're going to do is biceps. So you're going to turn your knuckles to face up towards the ceiling. So we're just going to curl to here. And I want you to imagine your upper arm is resting on a countertop. So you're just moving that forearm towards you without losing the height of the elbows. Now if you'd like a progression on this, we bend the knees, we come into our half roll back position, so really engage through the abdominals, the tailbone tucking under, and you have your bicep curl there. So you've got options here guys, take it to where it feels best for you. If you want that extra abdominal work, here it is. Use your exhale as you curl it in. Inhale, control the lengthening aspects of this exercise as much as you do the contraction. And we've done way more than 5 here, so let's just say we're going double for biceps, because we all feel strong here. And then lengthen. If you're coming out of your roll up, do it gradually. Find that tall spine at the top. Okay, hand weights finished with. We can pop those to one side, and we are going to come back down to laying on your back for some hip focused work. So this is where we would be working with our feet in the straps if we were on the reformer. Find your comfortable position for your lower back. Bring one leg to tabletop, then the other. Heels are going to come together in a little V position. Thigh bones are turned out from the top part of your leg. So we're moving into our frog. Heels keep squeezing. You probably won't go as low with the legs as you would when you're working on the reformer. But find where you can extend the legs away and keeping the heels squeezing together without the pelvis tipping forward. So you've got to really tighten here as you extend. Exhale, squeeze around your waist. Inhale, pull in. If you feel like your lower back is arching, make it more of an overhead press and in. So find which angle is right for your body. I've got my hands on my hips because it helps me feel if I'm keeping everything stable. Then you could work the same, or just have your arms by your sides. Exhale, extend. Inhale in. Exhale. Hard without those straps, hey folks. And we're going to reach, and we're going to bend, and then we're going to reach and hold it there, moving into the openings. Now you might like to point the toes as we open out, flex the feet, squeeze back in, working the inner thigh. So find the right angle for you. Don't come too low with the legs that you are overarching or arching into the back, or the abdominals are doming. So it might be a more overhead position, or you might be able to come a little lower. Ooh, challenging. And exhale, squeeze it in, reach out to the sides. Inhale, get that stretch on the inner thigh. Exhale, squeeze in. Having that point and flex really emphasizes the lengthening through the legs. So pointing on the way out. Flex before you move. Feel the stretch into the back line of the legs. 2 more. Inhale. And exhale, come all the way in. Let's hug the knees into the chest. Have a little rock and roll side to side. Feels good to let that lower back round into your mat. And then we are going to keep one leg up, bring the other leg either into this position, or you can extend it away onto the mat, and the other leg is lengthening up, flexing the foot if you can. Now if you tighten the hamstrings, keep the knee fairly bent, relax the foot. Work with where you can go. Leg circles, so keep that pelvis square as you circle for one breath, and circle for another. I'm moving away from that center line of the body. And we're doing 6 each direction, so 5 and 6. Pause at the top, now we come the opposite way. Down, around and up. 2. Inhale. Think about that opposite hip. Exhale, try not to let it lift with that movement of the leg. Inhale. And exhale. Fold it in. Let's have a quick stretch. Hug that knee in. Bring that knee across. Turn the eyes away. Do you enjoy that spine twist? Always got to have a stretch in whatever class we do. Chance to reset. Okay, let's release that, slide that leg away. Bring the other one in. You could work with the arms out to the T. I've just realised I've changed my arm position there. If that feels good, go for it. So we're working away from that centre line. Inhale. Exhale. Think about that opposite hip bone. Don't let it rotate. Don't let it lift. Use the abdominals. This is where we're working from. Exhale. Hold. Let's go the other way. Inhale. Exhale. These circles are not about how big you can go. It's about stability here. And exhale. Pelvic stability. Inhale. And hip mobility. Exhale. And hold. Let's fold that leg in. Again, bring that knee across. Turn the head if it feels comfortable to do so. And let's have that lovely stretch and rotation through the spine. Breathe into it, enjoy it. And then we're going to release that. You're going to roll onto your side and come up to a side seated position for mat version of mermaid. So you can sit with the legs as we would on the reformer. You might prefer to be cross-legged. But what I want you to think about is trying to get both sitting bones down on the mat. Now that's something that is really challenging for me in this position. So if you're the same, I'm feeling you, but you just do your best. Okay, so we're going to have the arms reaching out to the T. And we are going to come on over, away from the leg that is at back. So you're coming over your front knee into that side bend. So once that hand is down on the mat, still keep yourself lifted tall. Try not to slouch and collapse with this. Then we're going to add rotation. So you're reaching that top arm forward. And I want you to really reach into that. You should feel some stretch across the back of the shoulder. And then we're going to unwind that, lift it tall. Really lift from underneath your side of your waist to tip it over. Counter stretch the other way. Curve this arm up and over. And again, let's take it up and over. Find that lift, that long diagonal line, then reach. Rotate it around. Stretch across the back of the shoulder. Inhale, unwind. Exhale, counter stretch. And over. Find that diagonal. Find that reach. Rotate. Looking down to your hand on the mat. Unwind. Counter stretch. One more. Reach it up. And rotate. Now let's keep this rotation. Bring your hand down to the mat, adjusting underneath leg. You might need to bring it further in. But I want you to turn your back leg so your knees down into your mat, your toenails are down onto the mat. Kind of like a pigeon stretch, if you know that. Lending from yoga a little bit today. Okay, but I want you to keep yourself extended through your upper back. So that's pushing the chest up and forward. Long through the back of the leg, if you can, long through the spine, squaring the shoulders. Once we've got that, then let's soften the elbows, bring it down a bit, let that stretch change, you might feel it more into your hip. Just letting the forehead lightly touch against your mat, and then push those forearms down, lift the heart, lift the sternum up and forward. Then you're getting some space between those shoulder blades. Lengthening the front of the torso, a little bit of back extension here. And then let's release that and take that mermaid over to the other side. So again, square the pelvis as best you can. Find that T position. We're going over the front leg without slouching. And then we're going to rotate around. Get that length through the spine, stretch across that back shoulder. Inhale, counter stretch. And tipping over, lift up through the waist, make it work. The more you put into your movement, the more you get out. Create that little bit of resistance. Imagine you're moving through something thick. And reach around, get that rotation, get that stretch, unwind it, counter stretch, up and over. We have one more. Keep that spine long, find that diagonal position, then rotate. Let's square off the hands, square the leg in front of you, extend that leg out behind again, think of the knee down into your mat, toenails down into the mat, get taller. Lift the heart, lift the sternum, elongate through the abdominals. Once we've had that position, let's bring it forward, forearms down onto the mat. Just letting that stretch deepen into the hip of the front leg. Take a breath. Think of pushing the elbows down into the mat as you lift from your chest. So it's like initiating the movement from there, bringing it through into some more extension. Think of that front of the body getting a little bit longer. Shoulder blades down the back, hands really pushing to get that lift. And then we're going to bring the hands a little bit closer in, tuck the back toes, walk it back. Now here, you've got the opportunity to check the position of your feet. Once you've done that, just soften your knees, keep the eyes looking in. Finishing where we started with roll downs, rolling up through the spine. Feeling the pelvis adjust as you take it tall, eyes forward, shoulder blades broad, and then exhale, curling the chin to the chest, rest of the spine forward, soft knees, soft arms, weight in the toes. Take that breath at the bottom, bend the knees more if you need to, if you want to get to the floor, and then scoop the belly. Then start to pull it up. Feel the pelvis adjust as one vertebra stacks on top of another. Broaden your collarbones as you bring the gaze of the eyes forward. Feel the energy, feel the alignment of your body. And thank you very much for joining me in this class, and I will see you next time.